All right. All right, Nick. So, just wanted to show you a bit of one of my games I played recently here. I think it'll give you a good indication of some jungle decision making, the reason why I decided to do certain things, and with different information, just a lot of the things we've been talking about even. So this game is pretty much all platinum players, so relatively decent elo, you could say. So yeah. Obviously, first, I'm thinking about, as we talked about last time, some lane matchups. So we have Urgot into Ahri, which Urgot should win this matchup really hard. So I'm thinking this lane is going to be good to go to. Mid lane with Katarina is going to be good to go to because she can jump on top of Anivia right away. I can provide the CC. And bot lane isn't great, but it's doable because they're both of them are not mobile at all. And we have a Leona here that can provide CC even through things like a Black Shield. So what I'm thinking here is pretty much all the lanes are good to be ganking. The only thing is you have to watch out for is Elise. She's strong early. Even if she's not great in the meta, she's still going to be good early with those 6 abilities. You have to keep in mind that she's going to have the advantage here. So for sure, those are my early thoughts, my first things going through my head as we look to start out the game here. All right. My client spazzed out a bit. That's okay. Okay, so because I got a strong leash and I know how Elise clears it, I'm going to be quicker than her getting to the top side. So I'm going to keep that in mind because things like Scuttle Crab, things like, if I can get to a lane right away, that's going to be my priority because I'm clearing much faster than she is going to be. But at the same time, I'm obviously understanding and keeping in mind that she's going to be clearing towards topside as well, because I know that her bot lane didn't show up to lane until my bot lane did, meaning they gave a leash. So again, I'm just clearing. And so here is where your first decision comes in. So what I wanted to do originally was I wanted to look top lane because if you look at the lane right now, well, as I said earlier, Urgot is a good lane to gank. But if you look at where they are right now, I can't actually gank that because she's pushed in. And I know that Elise is going to be up here, so if we try to dive, Elise is going to show up right away. Scuttle Crab is in a really good spot right in front of me, and obviously mid lane's also shoved in. So the idea here is going to be to do Scuttle Crab right away so that I can get that early advantage and then look to gank somewhere else. So again, after, I'm always watching the map, right? So after I kill Scuttle down here, I look at top and I notice that Ari's pushed back out. So this is excellent considering I've got my blood scent on her. I can get up there extremely fast and try to get a gank off before Elise even knows what's going on. So it's a good engage. She's only level 2, and it's a really easy kill. So here's something that players in higher elo will not get mad at you for this, but if you look at, you know, in lower elo, people are definitely going to get upset at you for doing this, but it's something you need to do regardless. So the wave is right now kind of slow pushing towards Ari, and we know she has TP. So what you want to do is force her to burn her TP by shoving in this wave under tower, and then allowing your Urgot to back and get the advantage of the gold that he just gained. So what we do here is we actually start to shove the wave. I still try to give him the CS because I got the kill, so. And there we go, we successfully burn her TP because we're shoving. And we can both back up, and Urgot gets a free back to lane while Ari's pushed in. So now I could do a few things here. Because Scuttle Crab's down, because top, I can't do anything top lane. I know I still have Gromp up. So what I could do, let's say for example, mid lane, you can't gank this lane right now. I could do Gromp into Raptors and kind of finish my clear and then back, or I could do Gromp and back and then just go to my bot side. So if you don't have a gank available after you kind of do a few things like this, just clear and go back. In my case rather, you can see mid is shoved up, so I want to try to do something here because I'm strong, level 4 pretty early into the game with double buffs. You want to keep pushing and using your advantages like this. So she ends up dying. I know that Anivia has egg, so you just keep farming. So I opt to take my gold and back because I've got enough for Tiamat. So I pick up Tiamat, which is what you rush on Warwick. And now I can go and finish my clear much quicker. So I'm going to go do Raptors and then look for something. So either mid or bottom, whatever it may be. So something else I'll point out is based on what I noticed from Elise, which was I was able to take Scuttle, get a gank top, and then take my Gromp and go back, and we didn't see her this entire time. So what I can deduce is that Elise has cleared everything to her top side, so she would have done blue, wolves, red, and then tried to do something. So what she did was she kind of went top, couldn't get anything, did her Raptors. So I know that she spent that early portion of the game up here based on her initial start to a clear, and now she has to be down here given how far into the game it is and what camps of hers are up. So while I'm doing this camp, I actually typed out and said to my bot lane, be careful, Elise should be bot side. And I said that right as I was doing this camp, and I think I run into her almost right away. So just by understanding jungle clears, you can know where the jungle is. And right here I see her, and I'm like, yep, there she is. So what I did here, because I know where Elise was, I hit this plant up here, and it gave me vision of all of this on the map, right? So because I wanted to see if Elise was going to path bottom, or if she went into her jungle up this way, right? And the reason for that was, so I know if I'm pathing bottom, I know if she's immediately coming down. And the other thing is, if we check her CS, she's got 24. And the maximum that you can get in a full clear is 27, I think. It's either 27 or 28. And so therefore I know that her Krugs are up. So based on the lanes, she's going to do one of two things. Path top to her Krugs, because it's the only camp that'll be up based on her CS, or come bottom to try to, like, you know, mirror me or counter gank me. And so by hitting the plant, I knew that she wasn't pathing bottom. At least if she needed to path somewhere, she was going to have to come up and around like this in order to avoid the plant. But that just wastes time, and I would be there before her anyway. So just by doing those few things, you can get a lot of information and then make a play based on it. So I don't know that I'm standing on a ward, of course. And not much can happen bottom, so I start to go do my Krugs. And so again, I had told my top laner Elise could be top because of the only thing that's up for her, which is Krugs, and I was correct. So because I saw Elise top, I knew I needed to make something happen. Little did I know I was on a ward, but it doesn't matter. So Elise makes a play across the map, so I answer with a play. So we don't get a ton of kills. We don't get any kills, but we get summoners. And that's still a decent gank. Now, one mistake I kind of make here, because I wanted to try to counter gank mid as I saw this happening, but I should have actually helped them push this in so that they could back, kind of like what I did top. So that was a mistake on my portion, but I wanted to try to get middle to help. So again, I know middle died. I want to pick up this wave. I want to defend towers. So I'm always making decisions based on what's happening in other lanes. Very rarely are you making a decision based on what you really want to do, rather decisions based on what the enemy is doing and what your team's doing. Again, I just continue to clear. And at this point, I'm quite ahead. Make it back, and we're level 6. So I backed because I was level 6 and I knew my red buff was going up. That's why I just forgoed my Gromp at that point, so I could come back and get my red and be level 6 and look to make a play. Rather, I see a play can happen mid, and it works out. But for the most part, you'd be going for your red buff there to combo red buff with being level 6, which makes you super OP. Now, if you notice here, I wanted to give the kill over to Urgot. I mean, I'm strong, but I know that Urgot, when he gets fed, is really, really strong, especially against someone like Ahri. So don't be afraid to give up those kinds of kills sometimes, and just give it to them. And because both mid laners are dead, I just shove mid. So I have a lot of camps up, so I want to clear. You don't want to leave up too many camps at a time. Again, just keep clearing, keep clearing. So the reason, I'll get this out of the way. So the reason why I cleared down, was because I needed to take my Krugs again, so that they keep ranking up and I keep getting more experience for taking them as they rank up. And knowing that I just got a fresh red buff after playing mid, I can now path top, get my double buffs, and look to make a play up there where I have a Fed or a God based on the decisions I made earlier. So I do blue. Okay, so here's one of the game-changing decisions that I make. So as I'm clearing topside, I noticed that Elise went bottom, which is fine. And that's why I started Scuttle Crab, because I knew that Rift Herald was going to be up. So I thought, well, I can trade Elise's gank for Rift Herald, which is actually really good, because even if they get a kill, they're probably not going to get tower, but I can respond with a tower through Rift Herald. Now, that's one thing, but after I noticed Ahri's teleport bottom, I knew I needed to make something happen now, ASAP. So I have an Urgot top who's shoving in the wave, and so I immediately start to ping on that tower. I ditch what I'm doing, and I go straight top. We start shoving. Luckily, my team is winning the fight, and we start to take this tower. And about 30-40 seconds later, we have the tower, and just because of the decision that the enemy team made to send everything bottom, we were able to get the free tower. So those are the kinds of heads-up plays that you really want to be making. And a big reason why this game goes the way it does, because they actually have a really good late scaling team. And just watching the map, allows me to get these kinds of ganks off, allows me to pick up towers when we need them, allows me to respond to things, all that kind of good stuff. So I really want this tower, and I wish that my team just got it, but Elise manages to int when we pick up the tower. Again, shove the wave. And so now that we know that Elise is dead, we have a wave shoving here. We have top lane shoved in with no TP. The only concern really is middle, but this is a very free dragon, especially if you send somebody middle with your advantage. So by this point, we're very, very ahead. And I'm probably going to end the recording really soon, because I'm probably going to end the recording here, to be honest, because those are the most important first few minutes of the game, which give us the win later on. You can see that just through simple decision making, even though the enemy team has more kills, just based on decision making alone, what lanes to gank, how to clear the jungle, and responding to what they're doing by making a play. So whether it's Elise ganking top and I gank bottom to get flashes, or Ahri TPing bottom and me recognizing that and being able to just run top and get that tower, really is what made the difference in the gold lead here, and what put me quite far ahead of Elise. By this point, excuse me, by this point I'm nearly over half an item ahead of Elise, which is, by 13 minutes, that's a considerable lead, especially on someone like Elise, who is an early game jungler. I've officially won the jungle at this point, and I later even get Rift Herald and these kinds of things, and we just absolutely smash down these towers. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that, because I think it was a good example of how you can start to climb, and especially in those lower elos, just making these kinds of decisions. No one will expect it. In Platinum, it's a little different. People will respond better. The enemy will respond better to the decisions you're making. But if you can consistently make good choices like this, in the early game, in the first 15 minutes of the game, you will consistently win games. And so, yeah, I hope that helps anyway. Just thought I would kind of show you this a little bit because we can't watch this game together. So, yeah, dude.